was cool. Another big win is I finally like earlier today did a pistol squat for like the first time on each leg. And if you're like, what is a pistol squat? Go on YouTube tonight and go check it out. But that was a win for me. So yeah, and another win is Sean's hat.
My hat. I got this all the way from Kauai, man. This came from Kauai, and I was born in the year of the rooster, so that makes me never mind. Anyways, let's keep going. Super excited to be here tonight. Cheyenne's like, oh my God, it's too early. But yes, it's not too early. It's never too early for S. Malone. And so tonight we got something super, super exciting. Chris, is there any wins in the chat roll before we get started?
I feel like when you call yourself S. Malone, it's like you're this like warship, the USS Malone. Just other wins going on in the chat. We got Cheyenne cheering how early she's getting up, which is awesome. She gets a huge copy house for being here. Mom Malone, new ad is up. Yup. 22 leads in 2 days. Yup. Biggest win though is going to play golf tomorrow. So we got another golfer in the house. Good one. I've heard you're a stunner out there, Mom Malone. Other wins we got going. Let's see. Jay Lee. Whee! She typed that all out. And yes, keep typing some more of your guys' wins in the chat. Back to you, Sean.
All right, we are going to jump into it hot and heavy as we get started, except for I want you to read Roger's win really quick, Chris, because that's important.
He got his first buyer. Wait. My first buyer got affiliated. So, yes, that's awesome. Congratulations, Roger. And shout out to Les and Karen. They also got a buyer as well. So I was excited about that. A lot of good wins going.
Yes. What we're going to do is we're going to have these ladies battle off first, and then we're going to get it to practicality. We're always about tactical and practical. So tonight, we're not only going to have them battle on split testing. Again, you guys get to vote at the end of the show for your favorite piece. But then we're going to actually have them apply split testing ideas for Francis so he can grow his business a little bit faster. I'm super excited about this format. We've never done it before. It's the first time on Train or Die, and I'm just so excited. All right, let's kick it off. Tonight we're going to start with the world. No, let's go. All right, wait, hold on. We got to do a vote. Like, Chris, how do we do the vote, man? Should we paper, rock, scissors, or what?
For, like, who goes first?
Yeah.
Let's do it. If you win, who goes first?
I'll take Cheyenne, the unicorn. If I win, she goes first. If you win, Mary goes first. Wait.
I hope Mary's ready to go first because I'm about to win this sucker.
All right, so it goes 1, 2, 3, and then show, right?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, show. Ah, dis. All right, you got one. That was the worst thing ever. Let's try again. So 1, 2, 3, and then show. Okay, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. What are you? Oh, okay, tie. All right. 1, 2.
That was a rock and it turned paper.
This is a total horrible idea. Anyways, let's do this. Francis, pick a number between 1 and 704. Don't tell us what it is. And then, Cheyenne, what's your number?
I pick a number as well, or I'm taking...
Yeah. Well, Francis has got the right number. You got to get closest to it to go first.
Between 1 and 204?
704.
704.
Let's go, Cheyenne.
It's too early. No. 579.
Nice. Mary.
Let's do 303.
Francis.
I picked 555.
All right,
Nice.
Cheyenne, you get the coin toss. You want to go first or last?
Last.
Woo! All right. Mary Carter is up tonight first to talk about split testing mastery. I'm so excited to have this. Guys, if you've ever wanted to grow something in your business, like this is the place, this is the time, this is the one episode that's probably going to just blow your socks off. So I'm glad you're here tonight. Copy and awesome goes out to you. But tonight we have two of our very best. Mary Carter is going to kick it off. Hardcore. Welcome to the show, Mary. Kick it off. Let us know how to split test like a boss.
Yeah, okay, so tonight I'm going to talk about CBO. CBO stands for, oh my gosh, what does it stand for? I just call it by CBO.
Campaign Budget Optimization, right?
I knew that. It's CBO to me. So, okay, Campaign Budget Optimization. I probably should know it since I'm presenting on it. Anyways, I'm going to share a little bit about that because it is a really great way to let the algorithm kind of take over some of the split testing power. So you can just let the algorithm do some of it for you and not have to worry about setting things up as much. So I'm going to share a little bit on my screen here. So let me get it up. All right, so when you're in your, and also campaign budget optimization is going to be something that is, I think, going to go into full effect on everyone starting in September. So really soon here, CBO is going to be a thing of the norm. But what it can do with split testing is when you have a campaign and you have your different ad sets underneath it, if you have, like, say, 3 ad sets underneath your one campaign, the algorithm will shoot budget towards whatever ad sets are performing better. So if you just have, say you have 3 different creatives or like 3 different pictures you want to test, and you have them all in one campaign, then the algorithm is going to help decide what budget should be going towards which ones are doing better. Say you have 3 different interest sets that you want to try, and you just want to let the algorithm kind of decide which ones are, how much budget they should be putting towards each one, and that's going to really help you just decide which ones to turn off, which ones to stay on. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and so basically when you create an ad and you are in Facebook Ads Manager, you're going to go to conversions, and it's going to load here. All right, it's taking a sec here. There should be an option that should say select, and I think eventually that it's not even going to give you an option. It's going to just automatically set you up with campaign budget optimization. Let's see, I'm going to refresh this. Okay, so conversion. I'm going to close down some of these things. All right. Let's just say continue with conversions. I think it might have already, I don't think you have the option to select if you're using CBO or not, so I think it just automatically sets that up. So when you're when you're creating an ad, in your ad set, I highly recommend when you get to the option of, let's see, here we go. When you get to the option of the optimization and spending controls, you're going to have this option where it says add set spend limits. So say you have 3 different ad sets and you want to make sure that you're giving like each at least a little bit of a chance. You're going to want, like, say you're spending $5 on a campaign and you have 3 different ad sets. You want to probably make sure that each of them are spending at least $1 so that each of them have a fighting chance. And then you can see after that, so you can set spend limits here. So you can put like $1 per day minimum, or say you want to make sure that one doesn't get like all of the $5. And so you can put like, okay, maximum $3 that one is spending. So you can set different minimums and maximums, which this is a new thing. This hasn't always been a thing. So this is really awesome to make sure that one doesn't just like one doesn't like take off and doesn't give the other 2 a chance. So this is part of what's really awesome with CBO. Another thing that's really cool with CBO, let's see. So that's really like the main thing. And then when you are say you're in, I'm just going to show one of my examples. Sorry, my internet's being a little slow. How you can duplicate ads within a campaign so that you don't have to go recreate all of your ad sets from scratch. So if you just want to take a little bit of a shortcut, you can go to your ad set level. And here's the one I just created, still in draft mode, but here we're at the ad set. So you've already created it. You can go in here and duplicate it. And you can say original campaign, and you can actually want to say existing campaign so that you put it within the same campaign so that the budget is being split towards the different ad sets. And then you're going to select the one, this is, I didn't give it a name, so it's just conversions. And then you're going to duplicate it. So then whatever you've set up as your first ad set, you can have everything be the same, and then whatever you're going to split testing, you only want to change like one little thing. So if it's you're changing something with the targeting, you're only going to want to change like the interest. If you're changing something with your like creative or your posts, you're only going to want to change like one part of it. So that's like what's really important, because if you are changing like 2 or 3 things, you're not going to know what made the ad better, right? So you want to just change one thing. First is make sure, set up minimum and maximums with CBO. With that, again, that is down under the optimization section, which should be below placement. So optimization delivery, it's kind of a little bit hard to find sometimes. It's under budget and schedule. So you want to find it here under ad set spend limits. And then another really important CBO is you do not want to place this within one campaign. You don't want to place cold traffic with warm traffic or hot traffic. So what is cold traffic? What is warm traffic? What's hot traffic? So cold traffic is like you're sending your traffic to like a specific interest that they haven't seen anything from you before. So they're cold. They haven't seen anything from you before. You don't want to place that type of ad alongside someone who has seen something from you before. So say you're retargeting, someone who has seen a previous ad or someone who has seen a previous video, or maybe you're sending an ad to your current leads. You do not want to mix those within the same campaign, because most likely the algorithm is going to be like, hey, your hot leads, the stuff that you're sending to your leads, they're going to send all of your budget to those rather than like the cold traffic. So you don't want to mix those, because they're not the same things that you should be putting together, because they're not similar. And so the algorithm is going to favor the warmer the traffic. So when you're doing CBO, place cold traffic and cold traffic together, and then have like a separate one for like warm traffic and hot traffic. So I can just show you. I've already started to kind of play around with this in mine. So I have one CBO set up for just my value videos. So I have my value videos together in one campaign so that I can let the algorithm go in and see and test which of my value videos are doing better against each other. And then I have another one that's set up for my warm prospects. So this is people who have already seen some of my value videos, people who have already seen some of my leads. And so I'm letting the algorithm test which of those ads are doing better than the other, and letting the algorithm decide how much budget to put towards them. And then I have another one I've just set this one up, I don't have any data for it yet, but I'm putting just ones that are for hot prospects, so just people who have already become leads. So again, you don't want to mix and match, because the algorithm is not going to do it fairly. So if you haven't started testing CBO, you should do it, because most likely your brain is not as smart as the algorithm. You're not going to be able to be in Ads Manager every single day checking to see what's performing best, and you're probably not going to be able to do it as fast, right? So let the algorithm take a little bit of the decisions out of your court, right? So the more that we can rely on technology and rely on AIs and everything to do things for us, the less that we have to do, right? So CBO is going to be really great for split testing because then it just takes takes the decision out of your court a little bit more. So hope that was useful. And if you haven't tried CBO, go around and try it, and hope that was helpful.
Yeah, Mary Carter! Loved it. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's super powerful. Guys, that is the new way to do it, right? Campaign budget optimization. I almost missed it on that one there. CBO, right? Everyone's throwing acronyms everywhere else. Chris, quick bit of feedback. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's where it starts for lead generation. That's where it starts with filling your pipeline. Understanding Facebook to do that, to get leads in there is really, really important. So it may be, some of you watching probably feel a little intimidated. Some of you might be like, they didn't sit, go back and rewatch that. Just keep clicking. It'll make sense and it'll be worth it. That's literally the skill. Facebook agencies you have to pay thousands of dollars per month, just retainer, for people to do that type of work for you. And then you have to pay ad spend on top of that. I'm just saying that the market says it's a really valuable skill. So it may not always feel the coolest or the most interesting, but the more you keep clicking, the more you get into it, the more that your business is going to grow. And that's why on Trainer Diet tonight, we're talking about split testing, and things are going to continue to heat up because the only Cheyenne not only is about to come on and talk about split testing, and not only is she hungry, she is hungry for some Golden Bell Championship. Cheyenne, what do you have for us tonight?
You guys are hitting me too hard this morning with all these jokes. All right, guys. So Mary and I actually talked a little bit prior to Trainer Die, and we made sure that we hit both parts of split testing. So Mary did the CBO part, and I'm actually going to dig into your ad, Francis, and show you some different options on how to write your ad and different copy and photos and stuff like that. So let me do the honors of sharing my screen. Wow, I haven't done this in a minute. All right, here we go. Google Chrome, ding, ding, ding. All right, thumbs up. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. Ooh, ad reviews, guys. This takes me back to the fast track and everything. It's my favorite thing to do. You're getting a treat tonight. Okay. All right. Here we go. So with your ad, anything that I put in italics is what you said, and then I may have switched it up with the underlying thing. So first things first, I really liked your first little headliner, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That was really cool. After that, you said 5 seconds is how fast your self-doubt kicks in and your mind goes to work against you. So that's a little wordy, right? The less words that we can use in copy, the more someone else can understand them most of the time. So I just shortened that a little bit to make it seem like a little bit more easy to read. And then right here with this question mark, I would use a red exclamation point and a red question mark. I know they have those in the little emoji pile there. So red and would work really, really well right here. So you can split test this headliner against what you already have here. So I would keep your ad exactly how you have it, and then split test it with some of these edits or similar edits. These are definitely just suggestions. You don't have to take anything I say. Just use it with however you want. Okay, so then again, this one, when I read it, it was just a little wordy. So how many times have you missed out on an opportunity because you doubted yourself? A lot of people can relate to that. The reasons I asked 2 questions in the headliners was so that people can relate to your ad right off the bat, and you did something similar. So awesome job with that. Those are very good headliners, especially with you just starting out. That's amazing that you're already writing like that. And then right here you said, does it happen often? instead of saying, does it happen often? If you put, do you let it happen often? The person reading that is like, oh man, like, yeah, I do let that happen a lot. And then they're interested and they're going to continue to read. And then something I do a lot in my writing is continue to ask questions. Like it's setting it into their head, like, do you let it happen often? Does your self-doubt get in the way of your dreams? Like you can play on these questions throughout your writing. So you could even write some more questions here that are similar to the questions above. So they continue to question themselves, and then you tell your story. Like then you captivate whatever point you're trying to get across. So, all right, you said dreaming is easy, but making them happen is very hard. Again, just a little bit of different wording. Dreaming of blank is easy. Oh yeah. So right here, I wanted you to put something that you dream of, right? Because right here is so important to capture your audience and how you can relate to them. So dreaming, for me, it would be like dreaming of sipping wine in Italy with my parents is easy, but making that dream a reality can be tricky, right? So whatever is something for you that is a dream of yours, make sure you put it right here. And you can list a couple things, right? It doesn't have to just be one line. I often actually never do one line. I'll say sipping wine is easy to dream about, or climbing a volcano is easy to dream about. You like paint a picture in their head. So after you do this, yeah, just paint a picture in their head with whatever some of your goals are. So just think of descriptive words to describe your dreams and goals right here. And then, have you ever wanted to live life on your own terms? Again, we're gonna never mind. The only thing that I switched here was take your life. Like, again, just a very small split test. Here you said anchored, and I wasn't sure if you meant like you wanting to be anchored in a different place or situation, like traveling wise, or like freedom. So just make sure that this word is what you meant it to be, because anchored can sound intimidating to me. Like I don't ever want to be anchored in one place, but maybe you do. So just make sure that you're giving the right connotation there. And then, yeah, giving examples again. You can give examples here or there. I just wanted to make sure I got that point across. Okay, so I want to recap really quick. So here you have your headliners, first 3 lines, right? Really good questions. And then you are questioning what they want to do. So you captivated them and they're interested in reading. And then now you've got into what your goals and dreams are, and you're about to get into your story. Okay, so right away you did the format of your writing is good, just a little bit more descriptive and painting a bigger picture in their head were the main points that I noticed. Let's see. Okay, so right here, while still having a career that provides financial freedom, that's pretty like vague. Maybe paint a little bit more of a picture. I put time and financial abundance. Those are words that I've used forever, and I will continue to use them forever because it sounds nice, right? Like time and financial abundance, ooh, right? So those are just good words that people like to hear. So you can use them or change it up a little bit, but when people read that, they just like it. So okay, and then you have your link here. Awesome. For my emojis that I put by my link, I usually make them like a little bit brighter. You have 2 arrows, which is fine. Just want to give you a small suggestion there. Okay, so again, just flipping the switch on it. You said that matters most to you. Instead of that, you could do what matters most to you. So just asking questions. I don't know why, but I just love asking questions in my writing. I think it just really like sets the mood for what you want to paint in their head. And also answering the questions back in your writing is fun to do as well. Okay, so here is a really important part of your ad. So this is going to be my favorite part to edit. Okay, so, but unfortunately, most of us think that there's only one way to live life. You're so right. Instead, I would say like society has conditioned us to believe, or something along those lines, because a lot of people can relate to that. Like, okay, college, degree, 9 to 5, you know, so something like that. And then, okay, here is so important to be very descriptive. Like the other parts are okay, you did okay, but here, like, set the mood. So to get in the office early, stay late, and even come in on the weekends, and maybe I'll get a raise one day, right? Like so many people can relate to that. So be more descriptive. Like, waking up at the crack of dawn, staying late when you can't eat dinner with your family, or having to come in at 9 a.m. because you didn't finish your work Monday through Friday, right? Like paint a picture in someone's head right here. Super important. Okay, I think I made my point there. But yeah, just a lot of people can relate to that. So that would be good there. And then here, and if we worked long enough to save, we would be able to retire at age 65. This is a place where I show my personality in all of my ads. So this is like something Cheyenne would say, but relate it to how Francis would say it. I like you should write the way you talk. So something I would say would be like, I don't know about you, but the things that I want to do right now are things that I would not want to do when I was 65. Like that's something that would come out of my mouth on a daily basis. So just however you would want to word that, you say it how you want to say it. So this right here, whoop, bold. Okay, so yeah, just show personality when you have the opportunity to in your ad, write how you want to. I like to say, like, when you're creating an ad, make sure you're creating an ad for you that you love, or your best friend. Like if your best friend were to read it, they'd be like, oh dude, this is awesome, this is good, you know. Because that's how your audience is going to read it. Like your audience is your best friend. So you have an opportunity to show your personality right here, so do it. Okay, so right here, you did really good. I used to think that way as years passed by. I realized that no matter how hard I worked in my 9 to 5, that my dreams would never come true. I would never have enough vacation time to travel months at a time. You painted a good picture here, so I just bolded it, like, good job. Okay, so here, so I started thinking of different ways to make money. Instead of make money, because that probably won't get approved with good old Mark Zuckerberg, you could say, I started thinking of different ways to generate an income online. That phrase right there is a gold winning phrase. It will get approved every time. Generate an income. So instead of make money or anything along those lines, generate an income typically gets approved. I already knew that online businesses are growing. Okay, here, this is amazing that you did this. I love this. Showing your confidence in facts about what you know. Like, I know that online businesses are growing. I know this. I know that. And here's an opportunity where you can be repetitive again. So you're actually mirroring your ad. So in the beginning, you're asking questions to your audience, and here you're answering them without you maybe realizing that you did that, or your audience realizing that you did that. So continue to do that. I knew this, I knew that. So when you're writing here, your audience will like relate to you in confidence, and that's a good thing. Like, you are the teacher, you are telling someone about this opportunity. So right here, just facts about affiliate marketing. I knew that 9 out of 10 sales made online were made through an affiliate link. I knew just, Google facts about affiliate marketing or something like that. Let me just write under here, facts about affiliate marketing, so we remember. Cool. Okay. Okay. Also, I didn't highlight too much down here because this is good and it's simple. I don't want it to get too complicated because you're getting to your call to action. But right here is where you kind of start to share successes or dreams. I usually tell people, like, when you're first starting out, you may not have all these successes. You may not be, like, living the life, right? But that's okay. Like, we have all been there. I've been there. All you really have to do is relate to your dreams and goals. And because you're being confident in your ad, people are gonna, like, that's gonna resonate with them. So if you want to share some of your goals right here in this part of your ad, it would be good. So I've already seen success in becoming a better version of myself. These are very good small wins, and people are going to relate to these. And then your dreams can go really anywhere that you feel they fit in these parts. So right here would be good. I never felt any closer than before, and you could kind of like paint a picture in their head as to what some of your goals and dreams are, because again, they're going to relate to you after that. So just in the beginning, like you said, like we were going to paint a picture of what your dreams were, do it again here, but flip it up, like a different dream or something like that. So that way you have two different audiences that you could be resonating with. And then again, if you were to ever take this ad and split test it, you could switch up the dreams and goals and stuff like that. Okay, we're getting down to the bottom. All right, here we go. Okay, so right here you said it's your choice. Decision is just a really good marketing word. Like making a decision is like a mental thing. They're making the decision. They're not changing their mind. So decision is just like a good word to use. So I would just switch that up. It's your choice. It's your happiness. Yeah, happiness or abundance. Abundance is a good word these days. I don't know why, but it works good in my writing. Yeah, this is all good. Your call to action at the bottom is good. Again, here though, you have an opportunity to show your personality. So, for me, I would say I'll shoot you a message. Like that's just something that would come out of my mouth naturally. So whatever you would say to your best friend, like, hey, if you're gonna comment, blah blah blah, like be friendly here because this is your opportunity to open up the conversation for them to come into your messenger. So you want to make it like as less robotic as possible. So do that right here, and then I took a couple of minutes to do some market research for you, and these are some demographics of dudes and dude business owners. So dude business owners who want to own a business. These are the top stores that they shop at. I just did like a 5-minute search. And then here are some book ideas. If you put these 3 books in Facebook ads, demographic stuff, there will be a ton that pop up and just start like clicking rapidly. I always just type in like these 3 and more come up. And then here are some like entrepreneurs who are awesome. So you can use these to split test with. I thought these would work well with your ad copy above, so you can just start these as like a basis. Put them in different boxes though. Don't put all these in the same boxes because they're different subjects, right? We have like brands here, and then we have books here, and then we have like entrepreneurs here. So just switch it up a little bit. But I wanted to ask you if you had any questions about my writing or anything like that.
No. It's good to get an opinion because I got my ad reviewed on Monday too, so it's fun to see what we talked about now and what you're talking about right now, and yeah, because like I said, this is my first conversion ad I ever wrote, and it took me 4 weeks to write it, so so I'm actually proud of myself, so yeah.
Yeah, you did awesome. You did very, very well for your first conversion ad. Like this is congruent and it's very well. So since we're talking about split testing tonight, some major things that I would split test with in this specific ad would be your headliners. So the questions that you're asking in the beginning. So this one right here, and so these 2 right here. So I would split test your headlines. I would split test the picture that you're painting in your audience's head, because that needs to resonate with you and it needs to resonate with them. Okay, so where did we talk about that at? We talked about that right here. Let me bold that, and then oh goodness, I forgot where else, but you know what I'm talking about. We painted a picture somewhere else, but anyways, split test the picture that you're painting. And then pictures. Wait a second. I got these somewhere. There's a picture of you with your car and this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I would split test this photo. Let me see. Oh, you posted about Trainer Die tonight. Look at you. So yeah, this photo is a really good photo. You're wearing red, you're in front of a car, it looks really cool and interesting, and I've never really seen a photo like that, so like this is a great photo.
Yeah.
So I would use this photo and then like maybe split test something similar later down the line, but I think this is honestly a really good one right off the bat. Just be relating it to something in this photo when you're painting like the picture for their dream or something like that. But those are the 3 different things I would split test: headlines, the dream, the dream that you're painting in their head, and then the photo. Other than that, the rest is like backstory and your call to action and stuff like that, which is kind of standard. So you did really well. I'm very proud of you for your first conversion.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
I just have a couple of comments. So when so all of Cheyenne's recommendations are awesome, and when you do split test, don't split test like all of those things she recommended. Don't split test your original versus like all of the changes she recommended, because then you're not going to know which changes were the ones that like made the difference, right? So in your split test number 1, split test your one picture versus another picture, right? Then you can see which picture does better, and then you can turn off the one that does worse and then keep the one that does the best. then on your next split test, you can split test your headlines, just the headlines, like your first three lines, right? Split test those, and then you can turn off whichever one does worse, and then keep the winning one. So now you have your best photo and your best headlines, right? And then you can be like, okay, now I want to test the how we paint the story. So then you can test that middle part of your ad, and then you'll keep getting your ad better and better as you just split test one part of the ad, right? Not everything. So that's just one recommendation I have. Like, sure, is that.
Mary, I was gonna ask you, number one, go first. Number two, see your sweatshirt, and then how long should you wait, or is it time that you use to see if the split test is working or not?
The general rule of thumb is like 1,000 reach to make sure you give it enough time so that it can optimize a little bit, and so that you're not just turning it off after a day, right? You want to make sure usually 5 days a week or so is kind of how long it typically takes for your ad set to get to 1,000, and then you'll be able to kind of see which is doing better. And also, when it comes to
I was just gonna ask, let me just catch you on that topic before you go on, because I think this is all gold, right? So, Francis, I hope you're excited about this, because, dude, I would be above and beyond excited. Anyway, So Mary, I just wanted to ask. You said 1,000 reach, really important to talk about. How do you determine up to 1,000 reach? Should I keep this going or should I not? Or what's the thing? How many? Is there a lead? What's the thing?
Yeah, so some of the things you can look at is, you can look at see which has a better lead cost. And one other thing that you can look at too is link clicks. So link clicks, lead cost, those are usually the biggest things. Obviously, one gets a purchase over the other. Cheyenne, do you have any other?
Well, if you're if you're just starting and you just place your first ad and it hits 1,000 reach, kind of what should the bare bones benchmark be roughly?
Yeah, you want to make sure, or you want your a really good ad is going to be under $4 cost per lead, and then cost per link click is $2 or under. So if they're way above that, then that's the sign to turn it off. And so you obviously want to keep getting that cost per lead lower and lower and lower. But yeah, $4 cost per lead and $2 cost per link click are kind of two rules of thumb as you're getting started off. And then also too, another thing with the split testing is don't test your interests or your demographics while you're also testing the creative and the ad copy, right? So don't change something in your ad at the same time that you're changing something in your demographics and targeting. So if you're going to test your targeting, keep your ad. Don't change anything in the ad. So your two that you're split testing, the ad and the pictures should be completely the same, and then you just change the interests in each so you can see what really is making the difference. So not only should you follow that with the ad and the creative, but with the targeting as well.
Super powerful. We got a question. Kristen wants to know something. What does she want to know?
She does want to know something, but keep typing your questions in the chat. Heather had one a little bit earlier, so can we ask people to comment still? She has a couple. Let's start with that one first.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can definitely just say comment below, or in your video you can ask them to say a specific word. I think you're right with Facebook, maybe getting away with it, but I still run ads that say drop a comment below, or say a specific word below, or make a choice below, or something like that. So you can still get away with it. If Facebook tries to disapprove your ad, what I typically do is I hack them. No, I'm kidding. What I do is when they disapprove an ad, I copy the reason that they disapprove the ad. I send a request. It says send a request right underneath it. I copy it and say, sorry, I think you made a mistake. And then I press paste with whatever they said that was the mistake, and then an hour goes by, and then they approve it. So just tell Facebook that they made a mistake, and they'll always approve your ad. I've never had that not work. So if that ever happens to you, Heather, just know that you can copy and paste against them.
Knock on wood. That keeps working for you. All right, cool. Thank you for answering that, Cheyenne. Let's go to the next one. Yes, now the chat's working. Okay, Kristen, it's your time to shine here. What did you say you Googled to find out what businesses boys who want to own their own business shop at?
I'm pretty sure I just Googled top millennial clothing brands, and there's heaps of articles on Google. Google is your best friend when you guys are picking demographics. Like, hands down, use Google. It's there. It's free. So yeah, I just Googled like top millennial boy brands. And then there was like a business article actually, and it said like top brands that business boys 18 to 32 wear or something like that. And then I just copied and paste market research.
Well, so what was the top brand?
She's asking what the exact.
No, I'm asking that. I'm like, it's like, oh, I Googled this. I was like, who's the winner? Like, who has won the millennial boys' hearts?
It says Amazon is first. I didn't know Amazon sold
Amazon clothing brand. You guys heard it first here on Train or Die.
I want to.
Yes, Google.
Oh, it's so good. I want to hang on that just for a second. I want to come back to Mary. I know, like, lots of people do lots of different types of marketing research, but I think it's really important. Maybe just throw some ideas at Francis or everybody listening. Like, how do people do marketing research to come up with demographics to try? Like, where do you go? Like, what are some outlets? Do you have any suggestions that people could use?
I would say, Google is definitely your best friend. As far as just like go to different blogs that you or your avatar would like, and just like start reading reading things that your avatar would like, watching different YouTube videos that your avatar would like. Go out and like walk around and just like stalk people like people watch. Be like, hey, like what, like that person kind of looks like someone that would be my avatar. Like, we all have this ideal person, right, of like who our avatar is. So if they kind of look and be like, hey, what brands are they wearing? Like, you can just like do your market research just by like getting out and like watching people, right? So that's a really good way. But I would say like Google is going to be your best friend, because that's going to be like the best way you can find the different blog posts or like the different websites that are going to have just like keys for different things that you can test. So that's
one of the other things I think is like a super hack that not many people do, and it's so effective. If you find yourself in a gas station, or maybe you're going to the bookstore, or you're going somewhere where you can find magazines, specifically look for magazines that catch your attention. Whatever the title may be. If you're into fishing, I love Bass Pro Shop, I love fishing, I love magazines that have fishing in them. If you wanted to target someone like myself, go find a fishing magazine, open that up, go through all of the advertisements and see the types of creative they're using, see what the words they are using on their advertisements, use all that stuff in your copy. It's an amazing thing to do. And also grab the magazine titles and target those magazine titles on, in Facebook in the demographics. That's really helpful and powerful too. Cheyenne's smiling at me. What are you smiling about?
You said how much do you love Bass Pro and you're wearing a t-shirt.
So good. So good.
And he got it from Amazon clothing store.
I totally did. All right, Francis, I want you to come out. What's your biggest kind of maybe one or two big takeaways tonight that you think you could use in your business, and what was your what's your experience been so far? Because I want to ask you a few more questions, by the way.
Okay. My experience has been great. Lots of information. I'm going to look at this video like a 1,000 times probably. And I love the duplicate because I wasn't sure exactly what it did. So now I'll be able to duplicate it and just do like minimum changes, right? That was, I have a question for like split testing pictures. It's in I never did this before, so where exactly do I do? It's in my edit, I guess.
Yeah, I can share my screen again and share a couple more things about that. So, like, if you're if you're gonna test two different pictures and it's a Facebook post, you're gonna want to create a brand new Facebook post and just change the picture. So you're gonna have two different posts on your page. So if you want to like make sure they're not like one on top of each other, one on top of the other, maybe post like a couple other things in between your posts, so like they're not right next to each other on your page. So then when you are like changing that, you can go into the you can duplicate your ad set, and then keep all of your targeting the same, and then just go into the ad. So like you can go into the ad, so say you've already duplicated it, you can go in and you can go switch the this one is not a good example because it's an Instagram one, so let me choose one of the Facebook ones that I have. But you can go in and choose a different post to select. So let's see, this one has some Facebook ones in it. So let's do this. So you can go in and edit the ad set once you have duplicated it again, and then you're just going to go in and edit it. And you can go in and, where it says you can either create an ad or use existing post, you can just change it and then change it to your new one that you've created. So that way you're adjusting your different photos. And then also I saw Leah asked about, she asked, let's see, what was it? Something about.
It was split testing the different demographics with CBO.
Right. Yeah, so with CBO, you would just, like I said, duplicate your ad set, and then you can go in and once you have that copy or that duplicate, you can go in and edit whatever you're targeting. So you can just choose, you can just change up your interests, right, in your new, and then you'll want to save that, and just beware too that once you duplicate the ad set, your budget is not going to go up. So whatever budget you have for that original one, so say it's $5 and you're deciding you want to split test. If you want to keep your $5, if that's your budget, you can still split test, but you want to make sure that you will go and, so it'll stay at $5 if you don't change it at the campaign level. So your budget will be always dictated at the campaign level. So if you're going to keep it at $5, that's great. But again, go and check to make sure you have any minimums and maximums you want to set for each ad so that one doesn't overtake the other right away. And then if you do want to increase your budget so that each of the ad sets gets more budget so that you get your results faster, then you're going to want to go change that at the campaign level. So once you do that, you would want to go to your campaign level, and you can go down to your daily budget and just change that. So then you can update that. So then, if you are at $5, you want to up that to $10, so that each of your ad sets, if you're just doing 2 split texts, you can have or $10 between the two, right? So campaign budget optimization, depending on which one is going to be the algorithm finds that it's doing better, it might send $7 to one and $3 to the other, right? To if one is doing better, obviously you want to put more ad spend towards that. So that way you can just let Facebook kind of the algorithm decide, but you want to make sure that obviously each is getting like at least $1, right? I hope that makes sense.
That was awesome. Francis, that answer your question?
Yeah.
All right. So, Chris, we had a couple of other questions in the chat. Let's just rip through some of those real quick. If you have
Actually, that last one was Leah's question with the campaign. So, Mary worked in there great.
Okay, cool. So I want to go back to Cheyenne. She said something that was really valuable, and I think a lot of people missed it. And so I just want to go back to this. She always drops the golden nuggets in my mind all the time. So does Mary, of course. That's why I love these girls. But she said something that was important. She said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, front of top first headliner in Francis's ad. And then she said, look at the different pictures. Somehow relate the two. So I'm going to ask Mary, I'm going to ask Cheyenne, if you have to relate 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go to the pictures that Francis had, how would you kind of tie that knot together? What would you do?
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go with a little boom at the end is like an action photo in my mind. So with the photo that you have now, I think it's good. you would have to relate it. The only way that the photo would be congruent with your message as of right now would you would have to paint a picture in their head, like that dream that we were talking about would have to be related to you in a truck and technology and all that like cool mechanic stuff that you were doing in there, or else it may throw things off. Like if you were talking about traveling the world and you have a photo of a truck, that's going to be a little different. So when I think of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, and then you start like questioning them, I either think of a like traumatic, awesome photo or like something very actionable, like you jumping off of a bridge or something. So though that is that where you were going with that, Sean? Okay.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to, because I think that's like some people say things like that, and it's hard for for me and for most people to be like, oh, like how would I relate my picture to that? Like, what does that mean? I'm confused. So that's why I just wanted some clarity. That's all. So I think you did an amazing job in answering it. So let's go to Mary. How would you connect it? It might be different, might be the same, but at least.
Yeah, so that's where I think like your next two headlines too can come in really handy, so that you can use that to your like next and I know that we're using more your second and third one as questions as well. So your questions could further relate that that first eye-catching 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That could help relate that eye-catching headline to your photo. So if you are going to have your car in there and you still want to like get people drawn in about changing getting an online business and that sort of stuff, you could I don't know any off the top of my head right now, but you could use those two as like question to like somehow relate the car to creating an online business, right? So that people are having that explanation right up front, so that they understand what they're reading. Otherwise, they might be confused, right? So just using your first headline and your first 3 headlines to not only catch attention, but to make sure it makes sense, right? So I think, your first 3 headlines are key.
Yeah, I love that too. I would take it even in a completely different framework. Like, for instance, as a split test, I love the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go thing. I think that's really catchy and good. The other thing that you could do is you could paint a mental picture about racing cars. You're into the car world. That might be something too. I don't know what the words would look like or sound like, but it could be straight up like, I saw like instead of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 goes like, I saw the light go green, 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 or red, green, or whatever the the little racing thing, like red. That might be a cool angle, and then throw a little story about car racing and how you're a mechanic. That could tie in, be congruent with that picture. So it's just another angle. That's something you could split test. So we're talking about split testing here. I'm gonna go to Chris. What's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, on what part?
Well, let's do the same thing, tying the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go into kind of what Francis does and the pictures that he's using for the ad there with the mechanic stuff.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the theme of tonight is split testing. I think a big key, Mary, you touched on it earlier, is one thing at a time. And there, 1,000 reach is a good amount of data to like test that against. So it's like you do one thing, hey, 1,000 reach, like, hey, I got more or less attention, engagement with this, and then just like lather, rinse, repeat, split test as much as possible. And then like, this is kind of another thought that's coming in mind right now is think of ways, like things, like if you can cut budget or do extra work to make more money, you can add your ad budget and you can have maybe like do more split tests faster. Like, so because it's its own thing, you can do one thing at a time, but you can just do more of those faster. So I know, like, Sean or Cheyenne, Mary, like, what's the most amount of different ads that you've had running at one point?
I'll happily speak up. There was a time where we were spending about $1,100 a day in ads, and I couldn't count them. It was divide that by 5, dude. That's what was in our ad account. So
how do you go faster? Like that's the answer, right? So like start where you're at. You know what I mean? Do one at a time. But you could like do one at a time in multiple different ways and stack it, and like that's how you can get answers pretty quick too. So for people that are watching that are doing more than $5 or $10 a day, like that's a good thought.
And that's also too where campaign budget optimization can be handy too. So you don't have to have a separate campaign for each of your like different things that you're testing, right? You can have one campaign and then have a different ad set for, say, you want to test a new headline. So you have like your original, right? And then you have your next ad set be you're testing a different headline. Your next one could be the original, but the picture's different. The next one could be your original, but you're testing a different interest. So you could like have just different differentiations off of the original, and just have them all in that, all different ad sets within one campaign, and then you can see which what Facebook is pushing more budget to, and that way, and then you'll be able to see your results faster that way too. So
that's going to move us right into tonight's biggest takeaway moments. And the poll's going to drop up, and my voice just left myself. So here we go. I'm going to go to Mary. What was your biggest takeaway moment from tonight?
I loved how Cheyenne was talking about the different ways to like paint a story, and that's like something I don't like think about as much. So like that middle part of the ad, I feel like I don't test as much. So I think that was my biggest takeaway.
And Ms. Cheyenne, what was your biggest takeaway tonight?
Ooh, Mary, mine was yours. I haven't messed around with campaign budget optimization as much as I should. So it was a slap in the face to Cheyenne. So Cheyenne needs to get back into Ads Manager and do her handy-dandy work. So I'm going to start messing around with campaign budget optimization more because it's a lot easier to split test than going through each step of the process. So I need to get in there more. So thanks, Mary.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And Francis, what was your biggest takeaway moment tonight?
When Cheyenne was talking about my ad and different ways to word the phrases or words, because I kind of have like a hard time sometimes of finding a way of saying something, and it makes sense in my head from like, okay, I'm saying it in French, and then I'm saying it in English, and then trying to figure out the words that like match. So I got a software program that helps me out, but yeah.
That's awesome. Chris Spaden, the Beard. What was the Beard's favorite takeaway tonight?
The Beard's favorite takeaway was tonight was a really cool episode, remembering that this is an art and a science. And the science part is CBO and the art is copy. And both are like really, really important. And what we covered tonight is literally it's the blocking and tackling. It's like this is the nitty gritty. Like this is the work. When you like do that, like 5 minutes a day, an hour a day or more doing these activities, looking at this, thinking about this, that's flexing the muscle of the right skill that builds like the online business. It fills up your pipeline. And that was my takeaway. It's art and science. Like this is the work. So it was really cool to get into this today.
Yeah, I wanted to share kind of something similar to that. You know, I said I threw a big number out there, like $1,000 a day for advertising. Like, Sean, that's crazy. How could you ever do something like that? Well, it didn't come all at once. It wasn't like I blew my wad and just said, hey, we're going to spend a bunch of money advertising. No way, that's not how it worked. We started with a very low budget, $10, right? And then we started split testing, and we learned the fundamentals. You saw Mary and Cheyenne are two of the best at the fundamentals. They can do it in their sleep, right? I mean, geez, it's 3 a.m. where Cheyenne's at right now. But the cool part is they've mastered it, and once you've mastered that skill, guys, that's the basis, that's the foundation that everything else can be built upon. And when we got to $1,000 a day, it was because we started the same way. We learned the basics, we mastered the basics, and we started split testing, $10 a day, $10 a day, 57 different ads before Sean and Melissa had one that worked, right? And it wasn't just 57 completely different ads. It was like, take Francis's number one main thing that he wrote and start writing split test versions off that story until you have one that actually works with your audience. And when you do, that's when you start to scale. The results come, more money comes into the bank, reinvest it right into your business, keep going, right? Just double down, double down, double down. And all of a sudden, your ad budget's at $1,000 a day, and you're getting more buyers than you even know what to do with, right? So, and that's the idea. Your business grows. And so that was my biggest takeaway, guys, is this, what Chris said, totally echoing that. This is the fundamental stuff that we're going to continue to cover for you guys to get better at the basics, because when you master them, you win. And so that's what I'll share tonight. Who won the poll? Chris, you want to end that thing? That's pretty close.
It's been ended, and it's it's one. There's only been one other time where it's been this close, And so this is the second time where it's within one vote. And
Mary
that is
Potter! She is the new
Golden Bell champion.
yes, another Golden Bell champion. As we do every time as we end the show. First of all, thank you guys so much for being here. Francis, Genius of the Week, dude. Awesome, right? It's good, huh? All right, cool. And of course, as we do every time, Cheyenne, thank you so much for being here from all the way across the world. That's crazy. Love you to death. And Mary, please, if you would, take us home, end the show.
Thanks, guys. It's actually my first Golden Belt champion, so woohoo! So yeah, I want to leave you guys with just to start testing things, and it's all about testing. It's all a numbers game to see what's going to work for you. So test one little thing at a time. Check out campaign optimization, and and just keep working at it every little day. Like Sean said, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, do a little nitty gritty, because this is where you'll start to see results when you start to really try to advance.
We will see you guys next week. Same time, same channel. Have a great night.